Despite a stressful few weeks, American football coach Brian Flores is back in the NFL with the Steelers amid a lawsuit alleging racist hiring practices. What's more, Flores landed the job a mere few weeks after almost being endangered of his job in the early days of the lawsuit. What does the coach have to say about the situation? Is racial inequality rampant in the industry? Find out more in today's video. First, Brian Flores lands coaching position at the Pittsburgh Steelers. During turbulent times, former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores managed to find sure footing when he landed a job as the Pittsburgh Steelers' senior defensive assistant and linebackers coach as of recently. Flores was in danger of being blacklisted during the early days of the lawsuit, but fortunately an opportunity opened for him. His new employment, after a mere 3 weeks from suing the NFL and 3 teams over alleged racing hiring practices. According to Flores, news of his hiring happened very fast, which he detailed during a guest appearance in HBO's sports TV show, Real Sports. I talked to Coach Mike Tomlin last Thursday. A little bit more conversation on Friday, accepted the job on Friday evening, Flores narrated. I actually was calling Coach T really to get some counsel, Flores said. I was thinking about the next steps for me just from a coaching standpoint. And then that conversation turned into an opportunity there in Pittsburgh. The new Steelers coach also added that Tomlin may have seen his potential and decided to help out a fellow black coach that will also benefit the Pittsburgh Steelers. On the other hand, Tomlin also said in the statement how he's looking forward to Flores joining the team. I am excited about Brian Flores joining our coaching staff given his history of development and teaching defensive players during his time in the NFL, Tomlin said in a statement, and also said that the former Miami Dolphins coach's resume speaks for itself. Before working as the Miami Dolphins head coach for 2 years, Brian Flores also worked as the linebackers coach for the New England Patriots from 2016 to 18, where he also served as the safeties coach for the same team from 2012 to 15. As for Mike Tomlin, he's one of the most well-regarded and longest tenured black head coaches in the NFL and also one of 3 black coaches to lead teams last season. Next, Brian Flores' lawsuit is a reminder of America's struggle for racial equality. The NFL has a long history of racial injustices that are still being addressed to this day. Sure, America has moved forward in regards to this issue, but it's still lacking to be called progressive. Brian Flores was one of the coaches brave enough to call it what it is and made the ballsy move to filing a lawsuit which alleges the leagues discriminated against him and other black coaches by denying them positions at head coaches, general managers, as well as defensive coordinator and quarterbacks coaches. In addition to that, Flores also revealed that Miami offered him a $100,000 pay per loss during his first season under the Dolphins as a way to receive a top draft pick. Flores also named fellow Steelers coach Teryl Austin as an example of someone who has suffered racism in hiring. A fellow black coach, Austin, revealed that he is 0 for 11 when it comes to being interviewed for coaching jobs during the nearly 2 decades of working in the NFL. The two will now work together to strengthen Pittsburgh's defense for the team to make up for a subpar 2022. Unsurprisingly, the NFL expressed that they will defend against these claims, which they described as without merit. The league may have turned a blind eye to this, but the NFL's commissioner, Roger Goodell, had released a statement before the Super Bowl that he found the allegations very disturbing. Flores will continue with the lawsuit, assisted by his lawyers, Douglas Wigdor and John Alefterakis, who said on behalf of their client that the reason he will press on is so that real change can be made in the NFL, according to their statement. He was well aware that he was risking his coaching status by filing the lawsuit, yet continued to do so. If you remember former quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who knelt during the national anthem at the 2016 games as a form of protest of police brutality and racial inequality that led him to be blacklisted from playing the game, Kaepernick continues being an advocate of social justice and is now the face of the first connected rowing machine called Ergata, which is powered by game-based content. How bad is the racial inequality in the NFL? Statistics show that the racial inequality among the coaches is pretty bad, as reported by NBC News earlier this February. Flores' lawsuit sparked several discussions about who leads teams in the NFL, and data shows there's a huge discrepancy between who plays and who coaches in the NFL. Results show that there are 432 white players in the league with 1,220 people of color, whereas there are only 3 people of color who serve as the team's coaches, in contrast to 26 white coaches. A data derived from the Institute of Diversity and Ethics in Sports at the University of Central Florida's 2021 NFL Diversity and Inclusion Report. These 3 colored coaches are Steelers' Mike Tomlin, New York Jets' Robert Saleh, and Washington's Ron Rivera. This striking pattern has been going on for the last 10 years in head coaching hires, which enforces Flores' stand regarding racial discrimination in the sport regarding high positions. Brian Flores' lawsuit served as a catalyst for the league to review the Rooney Rule, named after the Pittsburgh Steelers' former owner, Dan Rooney, if it was still being implemented. The Rooney Rule, which was implemented back in 2003, requires the team to interview multiple minority candidates or at least one person of color for high-profile vacancies such as general manager, head coach, and other top leadership roles. Even the Steelers' current president, Art Rooney II, noticed that the league has not moved forward with the ranks of head coaches, although he did acknowledge that the NFL has been making small changes in hiring women and minorities in several roles. According to the same report, they gathered info from 2012 to 2021, where there were 62 head coaching hires in the NFL, and 51 of these belonged to white men, while the remaining 11 jobs belonged to men of color. Several factors come to play that result in such disparity, which includes the candidate pool and lack of familial connection. Next, Pittsburgh Steelers coach offers solutions for the racial inequality in the league. Along with his lawsuit, Brian Flores also expressed several ideas and suggestions on how the league could tackle racial inequality, which includes, but are not limited to, the following. Increase black ownership. Brian Flores urges the implementation of black ownership where people of color are given a seat at the owner's table, since as of the moment, there has been a lack of presence from their side. By doing so, it provides more opportunities for his fellow men. Enforce hiring policies. Akin Ayodele, former linebacker for several prestigious teams such as Jacksonville Jaguars, Dallas Cowboys, and Miami Dolphins, opened up how nepotism is a frequent occurrence in the industry. According to him, the owners are their friends or their friend's friend, which does not stem from merit. He believes that this plays as a hindrance in opening the seats for more people of color, hence the need to consistently enforce existing high policies and clear standards. Employ a reliable external oversight firm. Another suggestion voiced out by Flores is the external oversight of the league's hiring and firing processes. He believes that by hiring a reliable external firm who will be responsible for systematically auditing and certifying head coaching and executive search, race and gender equality will be addressed better. Flores also claimed that the league cannot be trusted to ensure appropriate levels of integrity and accountability across all 32 of its teams, hence the need to hire an outside source to uphold integrity. Involve players in the hiring process. For the hiring process, another strategy the league could adopt is the inclusion of players. Football executive and former NFL player Reggie McKenzie believes that embracing an inclusive approach would result in a different outcome, since players are the ones who best know the qualities that make someone a good coach. Enact substantial transparency. If the NFL is serious about achieving gender and racial equality, then they need to be more transparent on the issues and events happening behind the scenes, especially with the coach selection process. The league needs to publicize demographic data, which include gender, ethnicity, level, age, and tenure as an NFL employee. By being more transparent, it makes it easier for the applicants on what level of progress needs to be addressed, which could earn the trust of not only their employees, but the fans as well. As much as we'd love to elaborate more on all the factors, we've already run out of time. And with that, we're wrapping up today's episode about Brian Flores landing a new post as one of the coaches for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you stand with Brian, or are you against him? What do you think about his lawsuit? Let us know in the comments below. Before you go, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with that notification bell on, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.